So look, I know I say it a lot, but it's something I'm just passionate about, and I wish every artist would wake up. Um, Record labels are billionaires off of just selling the masters, not the publishing, not the merch, not the touring. Literally just the masters, y'all's music. And the reality is that, uh, you know, the crumbs of your own bread that are being given to y'all are so minuscule compared to how much is actually being grossed. But since it's still a good amount and like a lot, depending on how you look at things, it just it keeps you fed long enough to not ask questions. But it's insane, man. It's insane. It's really, really insane. Like, I just encourage every artist to be independent and see how much money is really in selling music. Like, that's the number one. Because the narrative that you have to run around and do all these things outside of the music to actually get money is bullshit, and it's super outdated. The number one lucrative thing to do in the music industry is to own music and sell it. That's it. Like, labels are billionaires off of that. They don't tour, they don't sell merch, they don't have even the publishing. You feel me? They just own the masters and sell it, and they get billions of dollars. And so I encourage all of y'all, all y'all major label artists, ask your label how much money you're grossing a year off of streaming. And then when they tell you whatever the fuck they tell you, don't believe them and hire an auditor. You have the right to audit your label. And that's what y'all should be doing. Because the reality is there's a ton of fucking money in this streaming shit. There's a ton of money in owning music and selling it. And, if y'all really knew how much. And the other thing is, I encourage y'all major label artists to go ask your label specifically to send you the amount of money you've grossed foreign off of streams and what you've netted, because y'all's deals are domestic deals, meaning when you sign to RCA or Atlantic, those are domestic deals. Overseas, there is no fucking Atlantic. It's or Columbia. They just have parent companies. It's just Sony or Universal, so on and so forth, with little different divisions. You can't go do a deal with each fucking territory. You feel me? So you're getting absolute bullshit rates for overseas streaming income. Terrible rates. Now, if you're independent, you just get all that money. You feel me? You get all that money. And hip hop and music in general is global now more than ever. And those, the amount of money being missed out on foreign streaming income for major label artists is unbelievable, because the deals are outdated. So you're getting shitty royalty rates because you can't go do a deal with each fucking individual country. You just do some blanket Sony deal for this territory and Universal, because there is no, like I said, there is no individual shit out there like that. So you're just getting these terrible royalty rate deals. So go ask your label. I really encourage y'all to ask your label to get the statements for your foreign streaming income, the gross. And then when they give it to you, audit them. You have the right, audit them. It's insane how much money is being missed out on due to just exploitation and outdated terms. You feel me? Including the 15% distribution fee that labels take off the top, as if they're doing any distributing. There's no physical copies being pressed out like that anymore. And if you're not on the inside of the industry, I don't care about your opinion on this, to be honest. You have no clue what you're talking about. You just read shit and hear about shit, and you don't know what the fuck's going on. This is not for y'all. I don't care about y'all's opinion on it. I don't care if this is not, I don't give a fuck. Shut up. It's not for you. You know what I'm saying? It's really not. But for the ones inside of this shit, I encourage y'all to ask for the statements. I encourage y'all to really see how much money you are grossing and then how much they're giving you. It's insane, man. It is insane how much money is really in streaming music. You don't have to do all this other fucking extracurricular shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can sit at your house, sell your music online, and run up 100 M's a year. It is a fact. Go ask the labels. The good news is that you don't have to listen to me, and y'all could do whatever the fuck you want, I'm just gonna lead by example. And at some point in life, it may not be next year, in 5 years, 10 years, but at some point in life, I'm running up 100 M's in a year, strictly off of streams. That's it. It's a volume game. It's that simple. Labels make billions of dollars because of the volume of catalog that they own. So it's a volume game. So at some point, that's going to be the reality. And so, um, and I don't mean gross. I mean net. I mean net 100 mil. So I'm not falling into the trap of trying to run around and do 78 different things outside the music like a maniac just to get some money when the biggest, most lucrative cash crop in the music business is owning music and selling it. So, like I said, ask your labels for the statements and then audit them. And last thing, super important, I don't want y'all to think that money is the only motivator and why is it all about money? It's not. It's about not being exploited, and it's about not getting taken advantage of and not having your art and creations taken advantage of. That's it. It's about not being exploited. Very simple. Very simple. And labels are exploiting artists with shitty, outdated deals. It's that simple. Okay, the glasses are on, so it's a different level at this point. No, I'm kidding. But I wanted to talk about marketing real quick. I know I keep saying like, oh, last thing, but I tend to always have something else to say. So let's talk about marketing. There's a lot of artists and people that have made comments and asked questions like, oh, your come up is great, Russ. Yeah, sure, but you're hiding something. What was the marketing budget? How much money were you spending per song? And I don't believe this shit. And nah, you're not telling us the whole story. There was marketing. There had to be marketing budget. But it's like, holy fuck. First of all, I take it as a compliment because I've actually done something and generated such success that it's actually unbelievable. So thank you, first and foremost. Second of all, the best marketing for your music is it being great. Harsh pill to swallow for artists because all of y'all think your shit is great and it's everyone else that's the problem. But most of the time it's you. So the best marketing is having great music, putting it out consistent and effectively, meaning when I was putting out 11 mixtapes, that was not an effective way to put out my music because no one's trying to hear fucking mixtapes and albums from an artist that they don't give a fuck about. So I had to switch up how I was putting out songs. That's when I moved to a song a week because I felt, which every artist should feel like this, that the music was good enough. And I was just putting it out wrong. So I was like, all right, you know what? I believe in my music, so let me change up the approach. And that's when I moved to a song a week because I saw everyone's down to listen to the first song on every album. So I was like, cool, I'll do a song a week. So that's what I did. There was no money being spent on any marketing. I didn't even have any connections to spend. I didn't even know where to begin if I wanted to with that. I was just putting out a song a week. And what I was doing was I was staying on social media, very active. I was putting up selfie videos of me in the studio, singing my R&B songs, lip syncing them and shit, while the song's playing. Shit like that, man. Just staying consistent. And like I said, the music was great. It's that simple. Like when you go look back at 2015 when I dropped Losing Control and What They Want and Too Many and Pull the Trigger, those are multi-platinum hits that I dropped. And they weren't multi-platinum because of the marketing. They're multi-platinum because first and foremost, they're great songs, and that's what started to get me a fan base was first, the music was great. Then it was consistent. And third, I was putting it out in a digestible, effective way, one song at a time, week by week. And that method worked back then. Simple as that. And the best marketing for it, like I said, was the music and the approach. But I understand why people ask that question because nowadays there's so many different avenues of marketing and TikTok and this. Back then there wasn't like that, It just wasn't like that. I didn't even have the connections to milk those avenues if there was avenues. I didn't even know, you know what I mean? So the best marketing was just great music and the approach. You feel me? So the reality is that labels are not going to offer you any. And the reason why I bring up the marketing thing is because a lot of people's responses whenever I talk about labels and shit is like, yeah, but the marketing money, man, they're spending so much money. Da, 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 da. It's like, listen, bro, at the end of the day, I fully believe when music is great and when it's put out consistently and effectively, a fan base will sniff you out online, especially now more than ever when everyone is online. It's like, it's that simple. And if you have been doing it for a long time, still don't have a fan base, you need to just keep it real with yourself and go back to the drawing board and analyze what you've been doing. And it might be you. It might be the music. It might be you're putting it out incorrectly. It might be the branding. It might be this. It might be that. So it's like, artists just have such a crazy ego thing, and it's never y'all's fault, and it's never our fault because I'm part of that community too, But I've learned to, realize that sometimes, and to tie all that back into the label shit is that labels marketing you nowadays are going to be, putting up money for music videos, and radio, which you don't need them to do either of those things for you. And it's like, yeah, they can run TikTok campaigns and do all this shit, whatever. The reality is that if you have a fucking Instagram and you have a Twitter and you have dope music and you're a personable person or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can generate a fan base on your own. Like, you got to realize the world we're living in right now made it possible for everyone to make it. Everything is connected. Everything is accessible. There's no reason why you can't be the biggest artist in the world if you get your shit together, Like, it's that simple, and that goes for all of us. You feel me? I just believe in the music and a consistent, effective approach.